I'm Henry Hill. I work at a family office. I grew up in Sydney and I've been in Sydney my whole life. Okay, so I didn't do particularly well at university. I was probably more focused on partying and girls. Mainly girls. No, I was more focused on having a good time socially.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't do an internship. I worked at a bowl shop, which was fantastic, but you know, after university I applied for a lot of grad jobs, didn't get one, and then I worked at a broker as like a broker's assistant, which I think made me realise that I love the equity market, but I definitely didn't like the sales and trading side of it. Some people love that, and some people are really good at it. It's not really my forte. And then I went and worked at a different broker as a research analyst.
Yeah.
But I think I always wanted to be in funds management. Buy side's a bit different from the sell side in that you don't have to go and pitch stocks to people, and like on the sell side, you know, when I was on the sell side, I started covering a stock when I was 24, maybe. And you know, I had to go and pitch this stock, which was a good idea and has done well, if I might add. But I had to go and pitch it to 40, 50-year-old fund managers who are a lot smarter than me, know a lot more, and you know, people were loath to take me seriously.
Yeah.
So it's difficult as a young broker because you know you really need to develop a reputation, but it's hard to do that. It takes a while. Then I went to the buy side, it's this family office. You know, as I didn't get great marks, I had a lot of job interviews and I had to like scrap my way from being a broker's assistant. You know, so a lot of it, it's competitive. It's really competitive. Have a stock, have a process. So like, I like to speak to management, I build a model, I look at the industry analysis, I do quarters, 5 quarters, I look at free cash flow, blah, blah, blah. A stock, a process, and have a cultural fit answer. And then your gravy. I'm not really sure what to say.
Yeah, that is tough.
Like that one that you just asked. Cultural fit is hard because it's like, it's a lip service question.
Yeah.
There's ways to differentiate yourself. Like, I'm not sure what the answer is, but there is an answer out there where someone will sit back and go, wow, that's a great answer. The hardest questions are just when they grill you on a stock that they know better than you.
So there's no
And they pretend that they don't know it. No, because that's what they do. They're kind of like, they ask you about a stock and then they can really catch you out. So I think because what will happen in the interview is you need to pitch the stock. Know that stock. And don't ramble like I'm doing right now. So I'd say you've got to be passionate about the markets. You've got to love the equity markets. You've got to love learning, like intellectual curiosity. You've got to want to know about new things and new industries. And you've got to be skeptical. Like you've got to be willing to not take things that people tell you at face value, whether management's sitting across the table or what somebody says in a presentation or what the broker tells you. You've got to be able to... The media, particularly the media, you've got to be able to think for yourself, and you can't just let information be fed to you and take that as what it is. I think, you know, so that's what I think from what I've seen is being a good funds manager is finding a contrary opinion, A, to your own, but B, to what you've been told. So, you know, skepticism, passion for the markets, and curiosity. Invest money in yourself. At uni. So if you've got a little share portfolio, you know, and you don't have to be conquering the world. Read the financial media, you know, have a look on the ASX website for presentations, do a bit of a Google search. You know, it's not hard to research a company, really. I shouldn't say that because go and get a few $1,000s and put it and stick it in the stock market and make sure the money that you invest in the stock market has logic behind it. We mainly look at Australian equities and fixed income. I mean, and then that's probably the good thing about working in a family office is it's very varied. It's not just small caps, it's large caps, it's debt. So it's a good job if you want to get exposure to a lot of different asset classes.
Yeah.
The core of the role is just understanding how businesses work and whether that business is going to be able to generate an acceptable return for the price you're paying for it.
Yeah.
The good thing about working in funds management is it's so varied. Like one day I could be learning about retirement villages, or the next day I could be learning about sleep apnea, or the next day about almonds. Like there's always something to learn. There's always a new industry or a new person. We look at a long-term investment. So, I'm not investing on anything based on a day or a month or a week, or probably even a year. You got to look at things over a 3 to 5 to 10 year horizon. That's something my boss is really good at. He likes to look at like a 10-year horizon. Now, some people can look at things over a day or a week and do really well. That's not me.
Yeah.
So I like to take a long-term view, and I think if you can, taking a long-term view and saying you want to take a long-term view and actually doing it is two different things, and you can get a bit, look at the screen and see the price move like that. Last year, we probably made 2 major investments. I was there for 6 months. So within that 6 months, and we made a few little ones here and there and added to some positions. But in terms of like building new significant positions, we probably did 2.
Yeah.
Right, so within 6 months, so, and they've been good, but like, I could spend weeks looking at a company and then end up just being like, look, we shouldn't invest in this. One of the challenges is kind of like, you can get all excited about a company, do heaps of work, and then come to the conclusion, and then often you might find yourself trying to justify like trying to do confirmation bias, and I think that's something that I've been trying to learn. Like recently I found this company I really liked. I won't mention it or anything about the business, but I really liked it. I went and spoke to the management, I did all the work, I built a model, and then I kind of like at the end of the process I was kind of like, maybe this is fairly valued. So then you got to sit back and...
Oh, okay, so it's still a good company, but the price...
Yeah, it's good business, but I'm not going to chase it. The patience is one problem, and I'm not a very patient person. And I think it's probably something... Oh, you laughing at that?
Yeah.
I'm not a very patient person. I think it's helping me to be more patient.
Yeah.
It's impatience. That is my biggest weakness in all facets of life. I like things to happen like that.
Yeah.
And I sometimes can get a bit annoyed when they don't happen like that, or when other people don't see things like don't see things eye to eye. That's a part of life, but like things don't happen as quickly as I would like them to happen. Whether that's a 5-minute interval or a 1 month interval or a 1 year interval, I kind of can get a bit. Like I need to learn to mellow out, I think, and I can get a bit
How do you...
antsy. Research, whether the sell side or the buy side, is competitive out there. So you really got to do something to differentiate yourself. So get an internship, do well at uni. But the thing that people value the most is practical experience and demonstration that you love it practically. So investing your own money.
Probably done anyway.
Life doesn't have to move at a million miles a second. That right there is advice for the ages.